Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to get this started. So I'm going to keep it real. I have been struggling so hard to figure out how I want this YouTube channel to go. And I know that in my last video I drew cards, but I love doing cards, but I also want to be able to express to you guys what my life is like with angels around and many of the synchronicities and the things that happen on a day-to-day basis. I want to be able to kind of explain that to you guys a little bit and just have you guys have a really good inside view of what my life is like. I'm going to try my best to display for you guys what my day is like on an everyday basis. One thing I definitely want you guys to understand and to know is that I love being authentically me. I want you guys to see the real me, because then I'm not truly being genuine with you if you're not truly getting to see who I am on a day-to-day basis or my character. So I know that in my last video, I was very calm, cool, and collected, and I'm gonna be honest. So a lot of that is because I'm trying really hard to, well, it's not so much trying really hard. I'm overthinking the whole process. And so I just want you guys to know that this channel is mostly going to be about my life as an intuitive, as a spiritual advisor, what my day-to-day life looks like, how my life changes on a day-to-day basis, and the many wonderful things that happen in my life due to the angels. We are going to have oracle cards, but we're also going to have like vlog days where you're going to get to see, when my wife and I go grocery shopping and, what all that looks like and how I actually incorporate all that. I recently changed to a vegan diet. It's scary, I know, a vegan diet. And in this vegan diet, I am so brand new and I'm still learning so many different things, and I'm really having to understand the proper things I need to include in my diet so that I make sure that I have the proper vitamins, the proper minerals, the proper nutrients. I do have a degree in health and wellness, so I'm very well aware of the macros, the proper amount of proteins and carbs and fats and all of that. But I'm more of an intuitive type of health coach, because I want you to be able to listen to your body, and not having any experience in a complete vegan lifestyle, I'm like in a totally brand new element. So today's video is mostly going to be you guys getting to see the real me. This is the real me. I'm very animated. I love to talk, and I struggled very much just so that you guys can actually see, because today I'm also recording my podcast. So I'm very animated in my podcast, and I almost wanted to start my intro for this with like I would normally do my podcast. I'm currently in my kitchen at my dining room table. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I will be doing some cards later on in the video. So have fun. This is clearly me taking photos before I'm actually applying my makeup. As you can see, I love taking selfies. Look at this beautiful makeup. I absolutely love this. Who is she? Let's be clear, I don't wear makeup all the time. All right, so now it's breakfast time. So this is some gluten-free bread, and I toasted that. I'm now adding some veganese to it. It is sort of a vegan mayo, if you will. And then I'm going to actually add some tofurkey. It's smoked flavor, so it's sort of like a mock version of roasted turkey. It's made primarily out of tofu, so I'm adding that to my breakfast. I don't usually eat this as a sandwich. I eat them individually, and I had to wash my hands. So now I'm going to add a small piece of this new amazing product that just came out not too long ago. It's called Just Egg, and it's shaped into like a omelet almost. If you truly miss eggs as a vegan, this is a must-have. And now I'm adding slices of some Vio Life cheese, which is a smoked provolone flavor. Okay, and now apparently I'm going to enjoy my first bite with my iced coffee. Yeah, that is usually how I spend my morning. Hi, I'm back. Okay, so I actually came in here after my breakfast and I said my prayers, I draw my card, and I usually do some journaling. That is normally what I do every morning. Now, I do want to let you know that I do work during the week. I'm currently working remotely from home. And I'm working 4 days out of the week. So today just happens to be my day off. So just rest assured that this is not what a typical day looks like for me, because normally I'm usually up by 6 a.m. I'm usually logged into work via my computer by about 6:45, and then I usually don't take a break until probably about noon when I go for lunch, and then I'm usually off the clock by about 3:30. I prefer working earlier in the morning. That is just what I love to do. I tend to have a lot more energy earlier in the day than I do at nighttime. My bedtime routine, I usually go to bed fairly early. So that's just kind of what it is. And if you guys really want to see what my nighttime routine looks like, go ahead and check out the poll and just let me know. Do you want to see what my nighttime routine looks like? It's pretty interesting. I usually have, dinner, and then I have some tea, and then I do a little bit of reading, or I do a little bit of coloring, and then I go to bed. So I will be more than happy to share that with you guys, what my nighttime routine looks like. Usually when I'm drawing a card for the day, I'm usually asking for clarity, for a little bit of guidance. What is the message that the angels themselves really want me to either bring into my awareness, or that they really want me to focus on? And 9 times out of 10, it's usually not only just for myself, but for others on a global perspective. I will share that with you. And today was no different. So I will tell you that when I was shuffling my cards, so this is sort of the back part of my desk. My desk is in front of me, and we are getting new desks for our office. I'm so excited. They're coming in on Tuesday. So if you guys want to see a picture of that, go ahead and comment down below, because I would love for you all to see that, to see what our new desks are gonna look like. So usually when I'm shuffling my cards, I do it with my eyes closed. I make sure that I'm really centered and that I'm really in tune with what it is that I'm trying to connect to. And there were actually 2 cards in the deck that were turned inside out. So they were facing the opposite direction. So when I was actually shuffling the cards and I happened to look down, I noticed that these 2 cards were facing the other way. And I was like, that normally doesn't happen. No one ever touches my cards. So, because it's just me and my wife. So I was like, okay, so clearly this is part of the message for today. So the cards that I'm actually using today, they are beautiful cards, by the way. Highly advise you to get this deck if you're truly into oracle cards. They're beautiful cards. They're beautiful messages. I will tell you, they are very potent messages. They are very high vibrational frequency messages. So this is called The Secret Language of Light. It's from Denise Jarvie. I first got introduced to this deck, I want to say probably around December of last year. I happened to have some friends that were in town, and we went to this amazing metaphysical shop down here in Houston. And I happened to stumble upon this deck, and they actually had the deck where you could actually view the cards on the inside. That's truly what I like to do when I'm looking at oracle cards. I want to make sure that I'm either A, attracted to it, or B, truly connected by imagery. For me, it's about imagery. And these cards were amazingly beautiful. I will tell you though, however, that when I first got them and I started shuffling them and I started working with them, I got nothing from these cards. And at first I thought it was a huge dud. But then January was really when Archangel Metatron stepped in. And he started working with me energetically, you know, at night, or he started giving me some downloads while I was sleeping. And then in January, it was like when I pulled this deck of cards out, I was blown away by the intense amount of energy and messages and just amazing prophetic messages that came through in the imagery that I was now picking up. It was almost like Metatron had to sort of tweak something within my brain, I guess you could say. And now these are my go-to cards. I love these cards and I use them all the time and they are so amazing. So the first card that I drew today is going to be healing. Okay. Now I will post, I will actually put better images of these photos, but this is a beautiful photo. So what this photo is there is a light image of a human down at the bottom by the word healing, and there is an image of the planet Earth right at her heart center. And then you have sort of this amazing, beautiful white light that just goes up into the sky, and you see the amazing sacred geometry. Now I'm going to call this the flower of life, okay? Because when you're actually looking at this card, you're going to see the flower of life right in here with this amazing stream of light. And then right above that, it sort of looks like wings, but it's actually this person's higher self, okay? Because it is an outline of the image of the person that is kneeling and sort of in like a meditative state. What this card actually means is wants you to be illuminated by love and truth, okay? And so what that means is that a lot of times we go through certain things in life where we get wounded, okay? And when we either come into contact with certain people, certain situations, or certain experiences in life, we get wounded. And that wound in and of itself sort of tends to stay with us. And the more that we tend to look at that wound, or the more that we pick at it, or the more that we become triggered by it, we continuously open up that wound, okay? And by constantly picking at it or constantly using it against yourself, you're not really allowing that wound to heal. Angel's message with this is that it wants you to first and foremost leave the wound alone. You have to leave the wound alone in order for it to heal, because the more that you continue to pick at it, it's almost like picking at a scab. You're just constantly picking at it. You're not allowing it to truly heal from within, and you're not looking at it from a perspective of love, okay? So in the book, I sometimes love referencing the book. Now I will tell you that when I draw cards for other people and I do readings for other people, I don't necessarily always go by what's in the book, because I'm reading the person's energy and I'm reading what I'm picking up from them. And so the meanings itself will probably change based on the person that I'm reading for. But I wanted to read this to you because this was so perfect. And so this is what it says. It says, right now, healing is taking place to support your understanding of the gifts in your experience. Weird or difficult circumstances can often be a fast-track path to your desires. Until we recognize subtle imbalances, the best way to clean up outdated beliefs is to have our buttons pushed. So the buttons is really what they're referencing when it comes to those wounds that we oftentimes carry, okay? And so what it's saying is every time we are reminded of or talk about a hurt, it pushes a button and reopens a wound that we have yet to heal, okay? Wounds are created by mental, spiritual, or physical trauma. Poking at them will prolong the healing process. Leave them alone so balance can be restored and wholeness can return. Inspired action for healing may include seeing a therapist, consulting a medical professional, or spending time in the ocean. So I thought this was very interesting because I personally myself have done so much healing earlier last year, and this will probably be something that I will share maybe in some future vlogs. But I I've done so much healing in regards to sexual abuse. And I will tell you that, as humans, we tend to really hold on to these pains. We hold on to the pains as long as we can, and we use them against ourselves to either A, sabotage ourselves, or B, allow it to manipulate us into believing that we are something that we are not. And we oftentimes don't truly heal. What the angels really want you to be aware of with the healing is that A, recognize that you have a wound that needs to be healed. B, don't use it against yourself. Allow yourself the opportunity. Give yourself permission to heal. Do what is necessary to give yourself that space to heal. Whether it's seeing, help from a professional, whether it's, going to see a therapist, going to see a medical professional, give yourself permission to heal. Healing is a great part of expanding your own awareness and recognizing that no matter what transpired, it's not your fault, and that you are giving yourself permission to be graceful and be forgiving of yourself. Okay. All right. The second card is called Visca Pisca. Okay. This is a beautiful card, y'all. So this is what it's called. This is what it looks like. It's Visca Pisca. Okay. And notice how it's two circles, and you have sort of a beautiful emblem in the middle, okay? Now, get there. It's creating soul truth in the world, okay? Now, here's what I want you to recognize, which I think is so beautiful and magnificent about these cards, is that the two circles, notice how they're very similar to when you look at a yin and a yang symbol, okay? And I don't find this surprising at all, because yesterday my blog post was about the yin and yang of our world. That was a message that came through from Metatron yesterday, so I'm not surprised by this card whatsoever. So notice how you have the two circles, okay? So I would often identify this as masculine energy, feminine energy, physical body, spiritual body, and in the middle, there's a combination of the both, okay? And in the middle, so this symbol right here is basically, this symbol right here is the symbol of the fish, which is known as the seed of life, okay? Everything in life is based off of sacred geometry, okay? And what this card specifically is really trying to get you to recognize is that we oftentimes as humans look for approval, we look for acceptance, we look for everything on the outside of us. We don't look for it from within. We seek approval from other people outside of us. We seek pleasure. We seek all kinds of things outside of us instead of looking within. One of my greatest lessons that I ever had to truly learn was that, when I first came out to my family and my family disowned me for about 1.5 years, my biggest pain was that I couldn't get my mother's approval. And it took me so long to recognize that I didn't A, need her approval, and that B, that I hadn't given myself approval. I haven't accepted myself. And that was what my true learning was that I had to look within and figure out what the discord was with me and with my mom, and recognizing that I didn't accept myself as a lesbian. So it was really difficult for me to accept that my mom couldn't accept me that way either. Visca Pisca is really wanting you to look within. It's wanting you to look really deep within yourself and asking yourself, are you really in fulfillment? Is everything outside of you what is fulfilling you? Is that really what's bringing you joy? And if it's not bringing you joy, then you need to align with that joy. You need to really dig deep down inside and ask yourself, what is it that your heart truly desires? So in the book, this is what it says. The outside world feels more real than the inner world. Let me read that again. The outside world feels more real than the inner world because we have been encouraged to focus more on what is outside of us. That is so true in humanity. We have learned to give things that we can be seen by others or touched by us more importance than what we feel. So in other words, we put more value, we put more worth in what other people believe about us, what they perceive about us, what they think about us, how they feel about us. We put more value and worth in that. Why is that so important to us? Why can't we just truly be happy and be who we are, regardless of what other people think? You know, one of the biggest things that I've often told, you know, a lot of my clients is that, you know, stop seeing yourself through the eyes of other people. It's time that you start seeing yourself through the eyes of your soul, because that is truly who you are at the core. Okay? And it says, making decisions can become difficult when our awareness is focused away from our inner needs and wants. When our internal and external realities are integrated, decisions are clear and easily made. This leads to satisfaction as there is no resistance to your fulfillment. So what is this card truly asking of us? This card is truly asking us to stop looking for approval and acceptance outside of us and start looking within. Truly asking ourselves, do I truly believe in what this person thinks about me? Or am I going to take that unsolicited advice from someone else to define who I am in this life? So Visca Pisca is really about aligning with your soul truth and allowing that to lead you. All right, next is going to be expansion. Now, this is what I absolutely love. Okay, so notice this is going to actually be a person, right, in a meditative state, and you're going to see the chakras, right, as they go up in alignment, right, up into the middle. Now, notice that this is two triangles. This is a Merkaba. Merkaba is basically it's a soul vehicle. It's a vehicle of light, right? That's who we are. We are light beings. And I actually have a chakra class that I teach. It's a 2-part class. And I find it very interesting that not only is this for myself, but for everyone else, because I'm teaching part 2 tomorrow, and tomorrow we're actually discussing Merkabas. So, what does expansion mean? Expansion is travel at your own speed of light. Okay, so what does that mean exactly? Well, that means that just because someone else is doing something does not mean that you have to do it exactly that way. Don't try to be a cookie cutter version of someone else. Don't try to do everything the same way that someone else does, which is why I honestly will tell you that I struggled so much with this YouTube, because I don't know what I'm doing. I honestly don't know what I'm doing when it comes to making YouTube videos. But the only thing I know how to do is to be myself and to be my funny, quirky self. That is who I am, and that is who I want to portray. I don't want to portray someone that I'm not, right? So what the message with this is, are you keeping up with your life and all you want to create? Or are you holding yourself back with what ifs or buts? Now, I find this to be really interesting because I have been trying to accept that my corporate job is no longer bringing me satisfaction. Although it is keeping me comfortable because it's providing me with the income that I need, deciding to make that change is scary. It's frightening. So I'm using the what if. What if I don't succeed? What if I'm not successful? But I'm not happy with my corporate job, but it pays the bills. You see what I'm getting with that? When you allow those kinds of trains of thought to lead you into your life, then you're not truly living your best life. You are living the life of someone else. You are living the life of what everyone else expects of you. And here's the thing. You have to be willing to get uncomfortable, and you have to be willing to really do something different in order to truly learn what you need to learn to grow. I've always said that if you are not learning, in whatever it is you're doing, you're not growing. And that's what I think is the most important thing, is that you have to really recognize that sometimes it means getting uncomfortable. Sometimes it means, getting out of that comfort zone and recognizing that you need new stimulation, you need a new environment, you need new people, you need new growth to be able to truly expand yourself, to spread your wings, to truly know how magnificent you really are, and to see how far you can actually go. So that is the message for this weekend and this upcoming week. Truly align yourself with your true inner heart. And you know what? No matter what transpires, really ask yourself, whatever you might be triggered with that occurs this week, really ask yourself, is this a wound that I need to just allow it to be and to heal? And maybe I need to seek some assistance somewhere else. Maybe I can't just do it on my own. Really align with your soul truth, okay? And also get uncomfortable. Truly allow yourself, give yourself permission to get uncomfortable so that you can spread your wings and that you can fly and you can see how wonderfully magnificent and amazingly creative you truly are. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I am going to look forward to seeing you all next week. I hope you really like this video. Please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Please be sure to subscribe. Make sure that you hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time I have a new video. Thank you all so much, and namaste.